Hi guys, my name's Connor. Welcome to Counterpoints. I am a science fiction, political, and philosophy nerd, a Marine Corps and law enforcement veteran. Today we are reacting to and breaking down the Space Marine 2 development trailer. I am very excited about it, but it is pretty much blue balls, so get ready for that. Let's go ahead and watch it one time through, and then we'll go back and break down some of the details. Let's go.
So working on a Warhammer 40,000 license, especially Space Marine 2, is an amazing honor, and I'm very excited about it. There are millions of people that love this franchise. And one of the scary things about this franchise is that there are millions of people that love this franchise.
We didn't just want to create any third-person shooter. We wanted to create a game that embodied the galactic warfare that you come to know from this franchise. It is a passion piece for all of the people working at Saber. You know, these are people who've read the novels for years, who've played the games, and so nobody has higher expectations than us.
I'm playing physically what amounts to like a super galactic space warrior. You know, these guys are 2.5 meters tall. They're probably about 500 pounds before you even put the armor on top of them, and their armor, it's ginormous. How do you recreate that? And then you see it, and suddenly I am 2.5 meters tall, and it's pretty amazing.
Most human beings in this world will never see a Space Marine. They're the stuff of legends. They're known as the angels of death. His angels. When one appears on a battlefield, it's like seeing an angel of God.
Well, Titus, he's been there, done that, seen more than all the other Ultramarines. He's an apex predator. Yeah, everything he does with purpose, everything with intention, everything with extreme power.
People who've read the books will have expectations about how Space Marines fight, and so that's been our guiding principle behind the gameplay that we created. One of my favorite parts of the trailer release at the Game Awards was watching the feedback that people gave afterwards, and I saw all this excitement over just a tiny few snippets of gameplay, and I just kept thinking, wait till you see what we got for you. Wait till you see what's next.
Oh my god. I was so annoyed at this trailer because somebody was like, oh, they're doing this Skulls event. They're doing this thing where they're going to be showing off all the trailers for the new games. And I was like, oh, sick. They're going to have a Space Marine 2 trailer. And of course they did. And it showed us almost nothing new. I basically have to go looking for the Easter eggs because they didn't give us anything new. And the only thing that I trust is the fear of the chief executive officer. I trust that. And then the narrative dork credentials that one Brit Bonger showed off. And then I also appreciate that they briefed their voice actor enough in order to be able to get some details right. So let's go ahead and kind of get in there a little bit. So I'll turn on the audio for the points that I think are relevant. But basically, looking over here, we got Thunderhawk transports. We got basically these are all the miniatures, right? These are like land speeders and all that kind of stuff. And they're showing these things off that are awesome. And if they don't develop those as assets within the game, I'm going to be frustrated because I'm basically going to be like, why are you showing us this stuff? As tabletop gamers, we already know all this crap. So unless you plan on bringing it into the game, don't just show us stock footage of 40K. Are you freaking kidding me? But the CEO says something that I think bodes well for the franchise.
Amazing honor, and I'm very excited about it. There are millions of people that love this franchise. And one of the scary things about this franchise is that there are millions of people that love this franchise.
I trust your fear. And what I mean by that is you could reskin the 2012 Space Marine game. Nobody would care. They would be like, okay, reskin it with updated graphics, basically give us new enemies, literally and most people, or at least me anyways, I would be so happy to be back in the 40K universe as a Space Marine. I literally wouldn't care if you basically copied the beats, changed the enemies, changed the set pieces, and basically re-released the game because the classic game was good. And then this is kind of what I was talking about with the set pieces, or excuse me, the Easter eggs. So we do see this amazing amazing skybox. And thank you. We're basically listening to the narrative guy talk where they're like, well, we're so used to like the setting of this like giant galactic combat that we really wanted to give you the feeling of being a part of it. And I'm like, okay, you're talking my language. You're talking my language. But what are we seeing right now? Are we seeing gameplay? Are we seeing Space Marines rip people up in executions or rip Tyranids up in executions? No, we're seeing a giant, beautiful Citadel skybox. And I will be appreciative of it when I see it. And I see little spores flying in the backgrounds. But guess what? I'm not here to stare at your skybox. I'm here to rip and effing tear, okay? I am here to rip and tear. Show me some rip and tear, you Brit bongers. God dang it.
The galactic warfare that you come to know from this franchise, it is a passion piece for all of the people working at Saber.
I trust that guy, okay? I trust him. I think when people are cutting corners, I think when people are saying, hey, let's go ahead and do this, let's do that, let's avoid this thing, it's going to be too expensive, I think that guy in the room will be like, hey, this is what we need to do in order to actually appease the base. I trust that guy
These are people who've read the novels for years,
as a creative consultant.
Who've played the games, and so nobody has higher expectations than us.
I'm playing physically.
Okay. I don't care what this guy says, so I'm just going to mute him. And it's not that what he's saying isn't correct. Like, he's playing at 2.5 meter tall and all that kind of stuff. And he's saying, how do we translate this? We translate that through technology. It's amazing to see this, that, the other. But to me, he kind of sounds like a noob because it just feels like he's just regurgitating the details. If he's not, I'm sorry for insulting you, sir, Captain Titus. But at the same time, the thing that he does say that I think was given to him as a narrative statement that is absolutely correct is like, okay, the Angels of Death are rare. And so we do see another, let's get over here. We do see another beautiful set piece. We see the church. And we see a Space Marine, so basically showing that like most people are going to come into this church and they will live and die without seeing a Space Marine. They will just know that there's this legend of these 8-foot-tall demigod angelic warriors who can show up in order to deliver mercy in your most dire of times. That's all they will know. And they will know that through the statue and participating in church at this location, but they won't ever actually see one, and they'll die before they get a chance to see one. But bringing this in as a set piece and narrativizing that is very cool. And then looking at these Thunderhawks, what I'm hoping is towards the later levels of the original Space Marine 2012 game, they did a really good job of making you feel like a part of a coherent force. There was Imperial Guard forces and flyers that were raiding with you and doing invasions in different parts, and you were part of a spearhead to sneak behind orc lines and basically secure strategic assets. You unleash, a chaotic incursion as a result, and then there were Space Marines who showed up with relatively poor AI, but still did a decent job of kicking the shit in of demons and chaotic Space Marines. So I'm hoping with the set piece that actually features a couple of Thunderhawks, which I think can technically cover they can technically carry a few dozen Space Marines each. I'm hoping that they do bring back that like combined arms, combined forces feel where you're not just fighting by yourself or as a part of a small fire team. You will be able to view yourself as an integrated part of an Imperial offensive against an overwhelming force. That's what I'm hoping the vibe that they're going for and that they're implying through this artwork. And one of the other things that the voice actor who plays Captain Titus talks about is basically that this character, or Space Marines in general, he's seen it, he's done it all, and every single movement he does is with intention and precision and power. And knowing that somebody fed him that line, or that he just knew enough about the lore in order to speak that way, is awesome, because that does mean that they're paying enough attention in order to actually capture what we're looking for in the future of the game. And I already broke down Space Marine 2, so if you want to check that out, check that out. But what we see here is a solid capture, looking for little Easter eggs, because they basically blue balls the shit out of us. But we see probably an Imperial Guard firing squad. We see a bunch of Imperial Guardsmen who are surrendered. So these are potentially traitors, but probably not. They're probably Imperial Guardsmen who are being executed for cowardice if they threw up their arms or ran away during battle. And that is the kind of thing that the Imperium is known for, is being cruelly inhuman in their required emotional and psychological states in order to survive against overwhelming odds, of which the Tyranids are an insanely overwhelming odds. So it's not surprising to me that they're executing perfectly good soldiers in the middle of battle, because that is kind of something they do. We do have a Chimera here, beautifully modeled in the foreground. And so that's what's frustrating me. It is blue balls with the trailer, because then they're just recycling old footage. We see the Hormagaunts and the Termagants charging you. We see us blasting them apart with a bolt rifle. We do see a well-rendered Captain Titus. We do see a beautifully rendered background. We see some Hive warriors coming at you, which are probably going to be very fun to dispatch and execute, but we don't have any execute animations. We don't have anything new to take a look at. And so that's kind of the frustrating thing, is this is the only other thing that's new, is a beautifully rendered close-up shot of the Space Marines and maybe a little bit of skybox action here and crashed Thunderhawk action here, which is all beautiful. Like, I'm not critiquing what I'm seeing. I'm just saying, like, what he's literally saying, wait till we have what to show you next. You just wait. And then they recycle more Space Marine 2 cinematic trailer footage. It's like, bro, show me it. Show me what you got. Don't tease me. Don't give me blue balls. Show me what you got. What are you doing? So that's pretty much what I have to say. This is kind of like a disappointment in one respect. The disappointment is that they're not showing us the cards. They're not showing us new gameplay. They're not showing us executions. They're not showing us game dev. They're not showing us, like a jump pack mission or new footage of like combat scenarios or anything like that. But the thing that they do have going that is making me hopeful is the CEO is terrified of the fan base. Good. The creative director or the consultant knows what he's doing. Good. Dan Abnett, I believe, is also consulting. Maybe he was just consulting on Dark Tide. Maybe I'm mixing up my facts because I was just talking about Dark Tide. But I'm sure they have all sorts of narrative content or narrative consultants, because this is going to be the flagship if they get it right. And then finally, the voice actor, while he doesn't speak about it in a way where I'm like, you know what you're talking about from a natural perspective, I do trust that what he calls out scriptedly points to something that is not just true and very incisive inside people who are very passionate about the universe, but it's also something that they're going to try to speak to within the video game. And the fact that they knew to speak to that through the voice actor in this trailer gives me hope that they're actually making good strides in development. So that's my reaction and breakdown of this trailer, as frustrating as it is. So my name's Connor. I'm a science fiction, political, and philosophy nerd. I'm a Marine Corps and law enforcement veteran. I do love violence. Please check out all the other stuff on the channel. We do plenty of breakdowns and reactions. We got Hammer and Bolter. We got Angels of Death. We have Warhammer fan-made animations. We have End of Watch, Fury, Aliens. I'm trying to think of the other one, but it doesn't even matter. If you're into violence or if you're into science fiction or politics or any of that stuff, we're going to have something for you. And then if you're a part of the Twitch, YouTube political sphere, check out all the media stuff. If you're into the media stuff, check out the political stuff. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one. I hope you have a beautiful day/night. Bye.